Ward with Ward Nutrition and Wellness LLC. One of my good friends, Dr. Lauren Sastry, asked me a question, and she wanted me to kind of look into it for you guys. She asked, was there any research behind the effects of alcohol and caffeine kind of working together? So I kind of digged into a little research, looked at a couple lit reviews, and interestingly enough, there is some research to show that alcohol and caffeine potentiate each other. Essentially, alcohol decreases the anxiogenic effects of caffeine, which is basically anything that makes you feel anxious or makes you feel worried. Whereas caffeine has been shown to decrease the unwanted side effects of excessive alcohol intake, like ataxia, which is voluntary loss of muscle control. So like when you start stumbling or when you slur your words. And it also can get rid of the feelings of tiredness because, of course, caffeine is good for that. So interestingly enough, this works through increasing the amount of dopamine that's released by alcohol when you drink it, and also by caffeine blocking the adenosine receptor. So if you're familiar with adenosine, then you're familiar with DNA. So adenosine, guanine, cytosine, and uracil or thymine. And adenosine is also expressed in your cells, in your extracellular space when you drink. And so what happens to people that drink is they increase their dopamine, the caffeine decreases the amount of adenosine that's in there. And dopamine, of course, is one of the feel-good neurotransmitters, and the one that is activated when we have sex, when we get money, when we get rewards, when we get gifts. It's basically your reinforcement neurotransmitter. So alcohol and caffeine have been shown to do this, and it's also been shown to be a little sketchy. There was one study that was done that looked at people walking out of a bar in a college town, and what they found was people that had mixed caffeine and alcohol, or that had energy drinks and alcohol, were 3 times more likely to be over the legal limit, 0.08, and 4 times likely to say they're going to drive. So essentially, alcohol, or caffeine and alcohol, makes you feel really darn good. And the last thing, and one thing that I've always known, and I've always told people, is that mixing caffeine and alcohol kind of simulates the effects of other psychostimulant drugs like cocaine or heroin. So it can mimic that activity in your brain and that amount of dopamine release. So if you're drinking Red Bulls and vodkas like I tend to do if I want to get, if I want to have a good time, then that's why. Anyways, I'm about to go to bed. It's kind of late, but I wanted to catch up with you all, and I wanted to shout out Lauren on that because it was a really good question, and I thought it was pseudoscience, but it was actually something legitimate behind it. So anyways, I hope you all have a good night, and be safe out there.